down.
You'll never make it.
Shut up and get down!
David, maybe he's right.
Unauthorized vehicle approaching control area. Let's go! Get out! Cut. That's a cut.
A very dangerous shot has been successfully completed, and the crew of the Philadelphia experiment wraps it for the night. This stunt will last only moments on screen, but months of preparation have gone into its making. Many dedicated people have worked in this production under a wide variety of conditions to bring this adventure-filled romance to the screen. The truck crash is only one stunt in an array of powerful physical and visual effects that lend a modern touch to the story based on a 1943 military experiment.
Keep running! Keep running!
Setup begins early in the morning for a scene that will not be shot until late in the evening. Director Stuart Raffill must carefully explain the blocking of the scene to the actors and to director of photography, Dick Bush. The long setup time will pay off because there will be fewer mistakes and less time wasted during the actual shooting. Co-producer Doug Curtis explains the origin of the screenplay.
This project started at Avco Embassy about 4 years ago, and John Carpenter was going to direct the film. It was going to be his second film after The Fog, and he spent about 6 months on it and couldn't finish it. He started with a very interesting story and got to the third act and could not figure out how to end it. So he went on to make Escape from New York, and Bob Remy, who was president of Avco, came to me, and I had a deal to develop projects there, and said, "Would you like to develop this?" And I read his pages and said, "Sure, I think it's great." And we started from scratch.
The film is about an experiment that takes place in 1943, which is reputed to have happened on board of a ship in the harbor of Philadelphia. And they tried to make a ship radar invisible using Einstein's new theories at that time on the unified field theory. And what happened was the ship actually disappeared.
Captain Robertson, sir. It's a cutter. They say the Eldridge has vanished.
Of course she has. She's radar invisible.
No, sir. She's really vanished. She's gone.
Get me the captain of the Eldridge on the radio right away.
It's impossible.
Small boy, this is Sea Dog. Over. Small boy, this is Sea Dog.
Shut her down. Tell the Eldridge to kill the generators. Tell them!
They've broken off communication, sir.
Just keep trying.
Better contact with them.
Small boy, this is Sea Dog.
Attention, all search and rescue personnel, stand by.
So anyway, when we decided what story we wanted to tell based on this story that supposedly happened, we decided the most interesting story was what happened to those two guys that didn't come back when the ship reappeared. And those two guys are played by Michael Pare. He's our protagonist, as it were, and his good friend is Bobby DeCicco. The girl that they meet in 1984, that they meet by accident, actually kidnap her, is Nancy Allen.
The story now is about two sailors who were on that ship. They fell off and were transported to this time, 1984, in the desert, where a similar experiment has been taking place with the same scientist who is now very old.
In this film, the Philadelphia experiment deals with time travel. And in the story, the character I'm playing is also seen in the future, which is some 42 years, 42 years in the future. And of course, I was very excited about playing myself as an old man. But as it turns out, the creative choice the director made was to hire an actor who somewhat resembled me. And I wanted to play the role, of course, with, you know, the whole plastic job and everything. I was looking forward to working with the makeup person and getting a life mold of my face and working with the plastics and latex pieces to make me look older, but never got that far because of the director's choice. And the man who played the role, we didn't spend a lot of time together, actually, but he did resemble me in some ways. But my God, if that's the future, I mean, Well, he's...
When I read the script initially...
Co-producer Joel Michaels was attracted to the time-traveling aspect of the story.
The idea of dealing with a time warp about two young men, or two people, virtually, who were disoriented in time. Because it's, I think, a fascinating idea to think of what it would be like for me, or for you, perhaps, if suddenly you woke up and you were in 2001 or 2010. Not having any frames of references that everybody else has, and I think it's a real curious idea. I think fascinating one.
And now moving to the national in Hollywood once who refused to hire a director, and the picture that he refused to hire the director for turned out to be a failure, and the next time the director's name came up, the producer said, no, he was associated.
I know this guy. Is this another movie?
I ever had.
No, David. This is not a movie.
Mr. President, Connie Lancaster.
Wendover, Utah. For the climactic fire scenes, director Stuart Raphael solved the problem of burning down an expensive movie set.
Dilapidated building, so we bought this whole complex, which is hopefully far enough away from the town that we can burn it without burning the whole town. We have the whole fire department out here.
The crew begins setting up in an old abandoned airplane hangar, which will serve as their set for several days. No one had come prepared for the extremely cold weather of Wendover in December, and the thin hangar walls offer no protection. The wardrobe personnel are given the huge responsibility for creating impromptu winter clothing for the entire crew using limited available materials. This is an additional burden to the already large task of outfitting the cast in styles from two different time periods.
My name is Ken Holliday, and my role in this picture is Major Clark. And what I do is I chase the star from Nevada through California and back to Nevada. I'm in charge of intelligence, security on this experiment that has gone awry.
The special visual effects team designed computer graphics so that the mission control monitors would add believability to the whole scene. Details like these, though not blatant, can make the difference between a low-budget look and the slick, finished look of the Philadelphia experiment. After hours of preparation, the scene is ready to be rehearsed.
Michael, I want you to take a longer look at it now. No, I am.
Michael Pare gives a longing look to a Nancy Allen who won't be there until the editor cuts the scene together months later.
We're not going to have to go in there. Just look at it and then start to go in, and then we'll cut. Okay? Okay. All right, another rehearsal. Okay, let's just set it up. Yep. When you come to stop here, I want you to look at this thing here, and you'll say when you get how much longer when you're here, right, Nick? How close is this? All set, Richard? Yep. All right, roll. Here we go. We're rolling. Big. And action.
Communication ceased when you enter the vortex. We won't be able to help you.
Am I supposed to drive this?
No.
I am.
Cut. That's a cut. Right. Is it better for you?
Here's how the scene finally looked.
I gotta go.
How am I sounding? We're ready. Communications are in. Just hope it all works. James. Communication ceases when you enter the vortex. We won't be able to help you.
Am I supposed to drive this?
No.
I am.
systems.
UHF frequencies now.
Okay, go ahead. We read.
Filming here in Utah? Well, I guess it's cheaper out here. It's a lot colder than California. I'll say that. And well, you won't find a set like this. You couldn't build it.
Back in California, wardrobe and makeup prepare for some additional scenes. The location work here is of a much smaller magnitude. Working in an actual elevator may seem more authentic than a set and eliminates a lot of costly construction. However, this arrangement has its own price for mobility. In many instances, breakaway walls would have been used. But in this case, the logistical problems must be solved by using a handheld camera instead of a bulky mount.
Well, I'm waiting for them to do that. Another thing we could do, Dick, is say we took this console here and we turn it and turn another one in the foreground with the light.
In addition, the camera angles must be carefully thought out because the options are very limited. Even the timing of the elevator door has to be rehearsed. For the scene in which the USS Eldridge explodes from the vortex into the 1980s, an entire mission control center was built.
Where's it centered now?
About 40 miles due east of here.
I'll be back.
Another possible energy source. Let's just do another run.
For the mission control sequences, special visual effects will be added long after the scenes have been shot here. Stuart Raffield must evoke from the actors a realistic response.
Computerized graphic of it, like on the TV screen, moving, showing its working parts, but only in graphic form. You have a screen with the actual storm going, and you also have another screen where you see a missile launch and then coming in on a graph of the town. In other words, they change. You understand? Go ahead. Ron?
Background action.
And action, guys.
It hasn't moved more than 50 miles from the original test site.
Where is it now?
B quadrant. It's moving this way again.
Cameras mounted and ready, sir.
Okay, let's see what the hell we're doing now.
This is control. Commence operations.
Okay, print that one. We do one more. Then coming towards is this town. And then you're looking again. You keep looking, and then
What the hell? I'm sorry. What's a ship doing in there?
none of my God. What's the ship doing in there? And then.
Oh, are you good?
Yeah. Then you snap out of it.
What happened? Is it right on my line that it happens? What's
No.
a ship doing in there?
No. Then you look at it for a second and.
Background action.
And action.
Cameras mounted and ready, sir.
Okay, let's see what the hell we got in there.
This is control. Commence operations.
Mission sequence activated.
Launch complete. 1500 and closing. 1200. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transition.
Good God, there it is.
What is that?
What the hell is that ship? What's a ship doing in there? What was that?
Play it back.
Make sure the image is patched through double. Clarify.
Major Clark from security.
Just the balance.
Okay, as far as imagining things happening in front of your eyes, as working in front of a blue screen, and the director says, okay, imagine that you're being sucked into this vortex, into this time warp. I mean, what do you do, all right? You fake it. I mean, what do you do? No, it's fun. It's like, it's a challenging thing to imagine. Something that is not really there, you know, to pretend that it is. It's not really that difficult. It's just imagining, and that's really one thing the actor has is imagination.
What is this? What's going on?
I don't know. What do you see right now?
Stars, moon. It's night.
Did you see a ship? I mean, did you see the ship, the town?
Yeah, I was spinning around. What's going on here?
Sometimes it's difficult for people to see what it is you're trying to do when you do a special effects film like this, because it's very complex. I mean, we don't know what we're going to do till we see the footage ourselves. But we have a concept, and if we believe in it strongly enough, we can convince them that what they will see eventually on the screen is something they will like. And that was certainly true in this case. We pre-sold it all over the world without even a script for the most part.
They're going to do, most of this movie is going to be special effects on a blue screen, you know, on some backlot in California. But I fly, you know. They fly me with one of those rigs and things.
You ready?
Let's go.
All right, good luck, Seal.
In most cases, we actually don't work too much with the actors. On this film, we're doing blue screen work with them. We're flying the principals and doubles through the vortex.
Visual effects supervisor Max Anderson.
In most cases, visual effects people work on a dark stage with miniatures and time-consuming, tedious work animation. So when we do get to work with the actors, it's fairly unusual. In this case, we're dealing with an element that's a little bit different in that it's our stars are transported from one era, one time period, through a spatial relationship change via the experiment to current time and back again. So for me, the goal of the effects is not to create a pretty light show or to do another dazzling effect. I'll feel that I've succeeded if I can achieve drawing the audience into some feeling that they've changed a spatial or time reference or been drawn through the vortex that we're trying to create.
Unlike other effects pictures, these are not cardboard cutout characters. It is a story about people with all the razzle-dazzle of the sci-fi adventure piece.
Slow him down. Look out!
In addition to the computer graphics and visual effects, an entire crew was used for the physical special effects, which included explosions, stunts, and car chases.
special effects always make me nervous, and they should make anybody with any sense nervous, because there's always some inherent danger. Fortunately, on this picture, we have a superb special effects company, Special Effects Unlimited, but we're really dealing with Larry Kavanaugh.
What I've had to do is optically do some what we call omni effects, which is like electrical discharge, heavy electrical discharge coming from the sky, which you'll see in the initial film. We're in Wendover, Nevada, and there was a big facility there that was used by the Air Force many years ago that Stewart, our director, decided to burn down. And we had a chance to do a big fire. It was like, let's say, 4 football fields of fire. We brought in a large tanker truck with 700 gallons of fuel. We used like 50 8-ounce black powder bombs to ignite this fuel, plus at least 50 gallons of rubber cement, just to get this fire going very quick. And it was completely burnt down, the facility, like 4 football fields, in about 10 minutes.
Get him up! No! No, man! Come on! Come on! Stand up here! You got the clear! I'm only asleep, sir! Listen up, man! I'll go out! I'll go out! When things start rolling! Things start rolling! We'll run out! We'll run out! You roll! We'll run out! And I'll drag him back! Still rolling! Yep.
The way it turned out, it was very successful. It was a tremendous fire.
Like burning Atlanta, but nobody be mourning the loss of it. And this place is an interesting history, because this is where the Enola Gay was loaded up with the atomic bomb and sent up to Japan. This base is where that started. So we're ending that era.
To capture the feeling of that era, Stuart Raphael and director of photography Dick Bush used softer lighting and a smoky atmosphere to create a nostalgic look.
Would you stop that? What kind of girl do you think I am?
The camera becomes an intimate part of the scene, giving the audience a dancer's eye view.
We're not going back to the office, and that's fine.
okay?
No, it's not.
Come on. Hey, babe, you want to cut a rug?
Why not?
Filmmaking. It's really interesting. Having done films like 1941, which had all the money in the world and all the time permitted to shoot it, and allowed to shoot it, and this film, which has been a tighter budget, and we shot it in considerably less time, about one quarter of the time. I think it really boils down to the old saying that less is more. Wouldn't you agree?
Relying more on ingenuity than a huge budget, the makers of the Philadelphia Experiment have created a multifaceted science fiction adventure which grew from its historical roots into a thrilling, imaginative motion picture.
Something that should never have happened has happened again.
We're still in Philadelphia.
There's no desert in Philly.
It has happened to David Hurdig.
You boys don't know what state you're in?
It has happened to Jimmy Parker.
What's the date? The year?
You kidding?
One day, it's 1943.
Generator's activated, sir.
The next, it's 1984. Now there's no going back.
This is Hurdig. That's him.
Now the truth can't be told.
Pick him up.
I didn't do anything.
Now, the only person he can trust does not trust him.
I need you.
In 1943, the United States Navy conducted a series of tests to develop a camouflage system that would render U.S. ships invisible to enemy radar.
I don't believe this.
The Eldridge has vanished.
I didn't think it was possible.
No, sir. She's really vanished. She's gone.
Today, the Philadelphia Experiment is still in progress.
Good God, there it is.
What went wrong? No one can tell.
We opened up a hole, Barney, and it stayed open.
Where it could lead, no one dare say. Who is responsible no longer matters.
Now, we can't stop it, but I believe that you can.
He's lying, David.
I wish to God I were.
I gotta go.
The Philadelphia Experiment.
Go!
Michael Pare, Nancy Allen, Bobby DeChico, and 41 years of time and technology are about to draw you into the vortex of the most unique adventure to ever cross the boundaries of the impossible. The Philadelphia Experiment.